All right. Got another one going on. Looks like we're ready. What's good, everybody? This is Ryan Johnson with MoneyBass.com. All right, guys, you have seen the thumbnail. Man, I know you guys have seen the thumbnail and you have seen the title to the video. Man, looks like it's kind of rough out there these days. All right, guys, so we're going to get into it as always. As you come into the live stream, please hit the comment button and just introduce yourself. Let's see who we have in the comment section tonight. And I'll do a few shout outs first. And we'll just kind of go through our regular routine. And remember, guys, we're here to share information, learn some things that will help us all get better out on the water. And of course, talk about this topic and have a little bit of some new information, some things that have popped up. So we'll go into maybe a video or two about that. Then, as always, I will drop the link. And if any of you guys want to come up, chit chat a little bit, just let me know what your thoughts are on the topic. And we'll have like kind of an open discussion. So after we finish the topic, if anybody wants to chime in about any other topics, then we can go ahead and do that. Because as you know, on my channel, we mainly discuss tournaments, tournament fishing, electronics tutorials, just things that will help everybody get better out on the water and bring in some wins while you're out on the lake. All right, guys. So really looking forward to, getting this thing going, but I will give a little bit of time for you guys to kind of trickle in here. I know some of you guys show up a few minutes late and stuff like that. So I'll just give you a few minutes to, get some of you guys coming in. And once again, I see guys kind of piling in here now. So as you come in, please drop a comment in the comment section. And also, guys, hit a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. Everything looks good, sounds good. So, we'll be able to get things going without any delays. All right, so let's see. And what I'll do is just give a few shout outs, guys, as you guys come in here. You know how that goes. And like I said, let's just have a little bit of fun tonight. I know it's kind of a serious topic. Man, guys, but hey, it's fishing. We're still fishing, guys. We're into this to kind of get away from things, to have a little relaxation and all that. But I mean, every once in a while, we do run into some things that will spice it up a little bit. So, so yeah. So we'll get into all that, guys. All right. So I see a few ones dropping into the chat. Really appreciate the confirmation, guys. So let's see. Yeah. So I mean, you guys can go ahead and start dropping your comments, questions, concerns, any of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and start off. I see some of you guys coming in here dropping some comments. Once again, as you come in, please drop a comment in the comment section just so I can see who we have returning back to watch another live stream. And also, please hit the like button on your way in. It really helps out the channel, guys. And we're really growing pretty fast. And speaking of growing, let's go ahead and do a few shout outs. And this first one goes out to Paul. Let me make sure I get this name right. Paul Gavinsky. Look at that, guys. We have the first member of the money team. All right. Really, really appreciate that. So, hey, you're the first member. So I'm going to always remember this one right here. So Paul Gavinsky, really appreciate that. Let me go ahead and hit it one more time. We have a new member of the money team. And basically what that is, guys, is the membership. It's just a way to show a little contribution to the channel and also just show some support. I'm always getting people contacting me, just asking me how can they support the channel. So we do super chats. Sometimes people will do that. And then I have a Patreon that I'm setting up. It's new and that's already been put in place. So that will get going and get up and running pretty quick. So if you're interested in the membership, just click the join button down at the bottom. You don't have to join right away. When you click it, it'll just play a video or something. Well, actually, it'll play the video that gives you more information about what the membership is about. And basically what that is you will get a special badge. As you can see, if you guys are looking in the chat, you'll see Paul Gavinsky. He now has a money team badge right next to his name. So whenever he pops up in the chat, I will definitely see that a member of the money team has dropped the chat, and we'll get right over there to it. So once again, really, really appreciate you joining the money team. All right, so let's see who else we have checking in. We have Brian Baker. All right, another long-term subscriber. Brian Baker says, can't wait for the show tonight. Yeah, maybe this will be a show. I mean, this topic, I mean, it does make it a show on its own, huh? I mean, it's kind of interesting. All right, so we have Deshaun Peck checking in. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you coming back and supporting the channel. We also have the Common Six expert. Yeah, I guess we do need a little common sense every now and then, even though it seems like with this that we're going to be talking about may not have been too much common sense in this situation. But hey, we'll get through it, guys. We'll get through it. All right. So we also have Cowboy Jack checking in. Cowboy Jack says, love the electronics tips. All right. Yeah. So that's our thing over here, guys. We want to make sure everybody is getting better out there on the water and bringing in some of those wins. So when we get in our comment section, I mean, you can come here, brag, drop your comments, let us know if you've been in tournaments, things like that, if you've been winning anything. So like I said, guys, we're just going to go through here, give a few shout outs before we get into the topic, just give some more guys some time to kind of get into the live stream. And once again, if you're a first time viewer, just drop into the chat, drop a quick comment in there so I can see who's visiting, who's returning, all that good stuff, and we can go ahead and get into it. All right, so we have, let's see, Texas Snoop 2010. All right, really appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping back in. And we have, let's see who else we have. Winter Solidarity. All right. As long as white men rule, there will be, I don't know about that one right there. We got to skip that right there. Let me just kind of look and see what that says in line. No. Can't agree with that. All right. So we have Texas Noob says, when is the talent video coming out? Hold on just a second, guys. Let me do a little something over here. All right, there we go. All right, guys. Sorry for the break in the show, but had to take care of a little business. All right, Texas Noob 2010 says, when is the talent video coming out? Oh, okay. So you remember that. You remember that talent video. All right. So basically what he's referring to, he had dropped a comment in one of my videos earlier about the talent. So I told him I was going to do an update to a previous talent video that I did, going over some of the features and things that you can do with the talents and basically how to use the remote, a few different things like that. So I will drop that. Let's see, I'll probably be back out on the water on Thursday preparing for a tournament that's coming up this weekend. So once I do that, then I will drop that video in there. So I'll put that out there for you. Appreciate you checking in. But hey, don't forget to remind me again. If just hit me up on Thursday, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? Just remind me, and then I'll take care of that when I'm out on the water. All right, we have Double H Outdoors. The Jig Master is in the house. That's right. All right, there we go. Double H Outdoors. Now that is the jig man. All he needs is a jig. He'll swim it. He'll probably even fish it in the top water. He'll take it in lay downs, everything. So he is the jig man. All right, so we have Paul. Let me see. Paul Cominsky says, all right, so this is, let me give another shout out to the first member of the money team. Enjoyed last live, so I joined the Money Bass Club. All right, there we go. Really, really appreciate that. All right, so we have, let's see, Vernon Neal checking in. He says, Money Bass, my man, I'm tuned in. All right, appreciate that, guys. All right, so we're getting some guys in here. So like I said, just giving some guys a little bit of time to go ahead and get into the live stream. Drop a comment in the comment section so I can, give you a quick shout out, see who all we have here, see if we have any returning. Let's see, hold on, let me check something again real quick. So see if we have any returning viewers, new members, all that kind of stuff. So just giving a few shout outs, guys. That's all we're doing right now. All right, so let's see, we have C219 Troll. All right, I was hoping you were going to be in here, the crappie fisherman. All right, so hey, yeah, I want you to chime in a little bit and let us know what's going on the crappie scene as far as this topic goes, because I'm pretty sure it is affecting everybody across the board. So yeah, so really appreciate you dropping in. All right, so let's see who else we have here. Just bear with me, guys. Let me just drop this banner down here. So if anybody wants to get in contact with me, I'll drop my Instagram. It'll scroll down at the bottom of the screen. So that is my Instagram. If anybody wants to hit me offline for just about anything, you can go ahead and drop me a quick message on Instagram. All right. Okay, so let's see. It's kind of been into this for a quick minute. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. All right, guys. So you saw the thumbnail. You know what the topic is. Man, it's pretty much going to be about cheaters. Hot topic. This is just something that's very, very tough to deal with in our industry, guys. So it's something that we always want to avoid if possible. But it looks like it's going to be around, guys. So we're going to talk about a few ways. If you guys have come, I'm pretty sure everybody has some thoughts in their mind as far as what can be done to stop it, and especially what should be done when they are caught. When they're caught, what should be the type of punishments. So if you guys have some ideas on those topics, go ahead and drop a comment in there. And also, the other thing that I want to hear from guys about is, whenever we're fishing these tournaments, how do you know that if you look to your left or look to your right, that that person in that other boat is not someone that has been cheating in another tournament, got caught, kind of let themselves cool off for 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, or whatever, and now they're stepping back into it because you do not remember their name. So if you don't remember their name, how are you going to be able to keep up with that? And let me just check back through this chat real quick, guys. Just wanted to make sure I took care of something. Let's see. Okay. All right. So I got that out of the way. All right. So yeah, so that's the thing, guys. How do we know that if there are people in the tournament, if they have just let things cool down for a while and now they're back at it and they're going to be affecting us? And also, like I said, what do you guys think should happen? Because for me, I think once you do that in our sport, it relies so much on integrity and the people that are in the tournament just being trustworthy, that once you break that trust, it's done. I mean, you can go and take on some other type of sport. Maybe you can take on frisbee throwing or something like that, where it's just you competing against yourself. But as far as coming in competition with other people, I don't think you can really be trusted at that point. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think on that? All right, so let me just read a few more of these. I think I have like 3 or 4 more comments real quick, and then we will hop into the first part of the video. And what I have, I'll just play a snippet of it. I can play just a little bit of it through fair use on YouTube, guys. So the tournament director basically has broken his silence. I know everybody is pretty much familiar with the topic that we're going to be referring to, which is the walleye tournament that took place, where they did find 2 fishermen that it appears that they had been doing this over a series of tournaments and amassed a lot of winnings, including a boat. I'm hearing reports of $3 million or more, and definitely 300,000 at least. And maybe that was just in 1 year at some point. So they were caught stuffing lead weights. I mean, nice size lead weights into the fish, and they were wrapping those inside of a fillet to kind of hide the feel of those fish. But as we all know, especially if you are a tournament fisherman, when we hold those fish up, if we see a 2-pound fish, a 3-pound fish, we know the difference between that and a 5 or 6 pounder. They just look different. So if someone says they have a 7-pound fish and they're holding it up, and to us, we can see and tell without even weighing it that it looks like a 4 or 5 pound fish, then that is definitely an issue. And that is pretty much how they got caught. Somebody contested it. The tournament director kind of felt the fish and everything. He came and checked them, and that was all she wrote. But like I said, let me just read a few more of these comments. And since you guys know the backstory, and I'm pretty sure you guys have been seeing all of the information that is out there, because guys, this hit the big leagues. This was on, I think it was on what, ESPN. I saw it on CNN, Fox News. It was everywhere. I mean, it was everywhere, guys, on the sporting channel. It's all over TikTok, Instagram, just everywhere. So this is big. So we have the light shining on us right now. So what are we going to do with that spotlight, guys? What are we going to do with it? We have to turn this negative into a positive some type of way. All right, so let's see who else we have checking in. Let's see. All right, we have Juan Clemens. All right, appreciate you checking in. Appreciate that. Coming back to check out the channel. All right, and Paul Gavinsky says, looking for a video on clearing the unit up. Let me see. Looking for a video on clearing the unit up of save waypoints to an SD card. All right, I got you. I got you. I got you. You know I have to take care of my members. So you need basically a waypoint video. All right, I tried it once and all the waypoints saved to the card, but I was hoping to save it by lake and not all of them at once. All right, so to answer that question real quick, the way that I save my waypoints, I have an individual SD card. So I have maybe 20 to 30 something SD cards, and each one of those cards have their lake individualized on those lakes. If I go to 2 lakes and don't take those waypoints off of there, then I can go back and separate those. So I will put out a video so that you can see how I take care of that. All right, I got you. I got you. Just shoot me a message on my Instagram or in my comment section. Just kind of remind me on maybe Thursday or Friday or something like that, because I'm running, guys. I'm running. All right, so let me just make sure I covered everything. Taking that out. Okay, there we go. All right, so I got you, Paul. I got you. All right, so Deuce says, been learning a lot from your hummingbird videos. All right, appreciate that. So yeah, you guys are really stepping up on those videos, on those hummingbird. Well, hummingbird, I mean, a lot of it, even though I do mainly run hummingbird, a lot of it can be cross-referenced to the other units also. But yeah, just making sure everybody can get better out there on the water. All right, so Rick Patterson says, I'm here. What's up? Been learning a lot from your videos. All right, really, really appreciate that. All right. So let's see what Juan says. Juan says they should be banned for life. Yeah, I don't see how they can't be, because who would want to fish against somebody who has done that? I just don't see it happening. All right. So C219 Troll says, think most trails will make some changes, but it's hard to stop all cheating. Agreed. What's hurting us anglers is it has gotten worldwide publicity. I'm hoping something good will come out of it. All right, there we go. I agree with that. I mean, that's what I say. How can we turn this negative into a positive? Because the light is shining on all of us right now, guys. All right, so let's see who we have next. C219 Troll says, and it will elevate the sport. There we go. Exactly. All right, so Paul got two more comments, and we'll get right into the video, guys. We have had let me see. We have had anglers do the weights inside of the bass. Ooh, man, see, that's ugly. And it was crazy because that's such a, I guess, such a old school way of cheating. And I mean, these guys were competing for a lot of money, and then you're just going to stuff weights inside of a fish. I have also seen bass traps while cruising. Yes, I agree with that. I haven't seen one myself, but when I was talking with a guy at a boat ramp one time, he was explaining that he was fishing a tournament and he had cast his crankbait. Guys, listen to this. Okay, just listen to this, guys. He's fishing the tournament. He's going down the bank. He's casting a crankbait. So I mean, he's moving, throwing that crankbait, reeling it in, casting it, reeling it in. He casts it out and starts reeling it in, and he gets hung on something. So he's trying to shake it loose, and he does not get it loose. So now it's like, how that feeling whenever you're in the tournament, you're trying to make things happen. Now I have to go get my bait back. So he goes towards the bank, gets over to his bait, and starts pulling it to try to get it loose. And he notices that it is stuck to a cage. There's a cage right there with fish in that cage. So he's in a tournament himself, but he knows there's other tournaments on the lake. But in that situation, the first thing that came to mind is, if you reach down there to get your bait loose and you pull that up and a cage is attached to it, now that's ugly. Just think, as if you're reaching down there, pulling that up to get your bait loose, somebody else comes cruising into that cove and they see you and you're like, hey, wait a minute. It's not what you think. At that point, they're going to say, yeah, right, buddy. What are you over there doing? But yeah, so I just thought about that. But he was fishing, and what he did, he said he just hurried up, got his bait loose, and just left. He didn't report it or anything, because he said he was fishing a tournament, and there were several tournaments going on, but he just didn't want to be involved in that. But the thing is, that left that person there to be able to come back and do that another day. So yeah, I mean, it's always something going on out there, guys, and we just have to be vigilant, keep our eyes open, and if we see something, then we have to go ahead and speak up. I mean, we have to go ahead and do that so we can, kind of clear the name of the sport and make sure it's something that we all feel good with being involved with. All right. And let's see, two more real quick. All right. So Rick Patterson says you should be banned for life. There we go. I agree. I mean, yeah, because like I said, I don't see a way around that. Or at least all of the other anglers should be informed of who they're fishing with, and then let them have the option. Because what will happen, just think, if you are running a tournament trail and we find out that you have allowed somebody that is a known cheater or have been involved in some type of situation like that, we find out that you have allowed them to be in your tournament trail, that is going to put a bad name on your trail, and people just they're not going to want to invest their time away from family, their money, or anything into that trail. So guys, you have to protect your reputation and the reputation of what you're fishing. All right. And so Paul says, all right, got the member. Let me go ahead and give another shout out for my member of the money team. Was it full of some bass? Yes, it was full of bass, but if he and so I guess he was kind of thinking the same thing I was. If he was to lift the cage up to flip it around to get those fish out of there, and somebody sees him doing that, they would probably blame him, because what would you do? It definitely would look very suspicious if somebody is lifting the cage, even if they were about to dump it out. So yeah, so he said he left it there. It did have fish in it. All right, so let's see. Texas Snoop 2010. Who do you report things like this to during the tournament? Let me see, make sure I read this right. Who do you report things like that to during a tournament? All right. Who do you report it to? The tournament director. You definitely want to make sure you report it to the tournament director. And they should, to me, in my opinion, they should definitely get DNR involved in that, so that it can be documented. And in one of the things, I know if you guys watched the original video of the walleye situation, one of the things the tournament director said was, get out of here and go home. No, hold up, swole up. You don't get to go out of here and go home. You get to wait here for the police to come and for DNR, so everything can be documented, because you don't want to send them off with just a quick little slap on the hand, and now they come back. Obviously, I doubt that they will come back to fish that particular trail or tournament series that they were caught in, but they will just go and fish somebody else's. So we kind of have to protect each other, guys. So like I said, we're all out here, especially on this channel. What we are here to do is help each other out, help each other get better on the water. We want to hear about successful days. Of course, everybody has bad days on the water, but I think the more that we share information, teach each other about electronics, all that good stuff, and just that old school mentality of how do you fish during certain weather patterns and things like that, that's what this channel is about. So that's what we're looking at, guys. All right, so what I'm about to do is go ahead and pull up this video. So I'm going to share my screen. So this is the video, and this comes from Big Water. That's their YouTube channel. They have a podcast. So they had the tournament director, and it appears to be two tournament directors from two separate organizations, but sometimes they link up and do things together. They were brought on the podcast. It's about an hour and something long, so definitely make sure you guys check out the entire video. But what I'm going to do is just play a few snippets of that, just make a few comments about it, and then if you guys want to chime in about anything, then you can. And what I will do is drop the link. So if anybody is in here that wants to get pulled up, I'll drop the link so that you can take a look at it. So that you can come up on the screen. And then if we want to take a look at any of the, the footage or anything together, and we can comment on it, then maybe we can try it out like that. But without further ado, let me go ahead and share this screen. All right, let's see. Here we go. Pull this up. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and play this. And like I said, the guy in the bottom right is the tournament director from the tournament in question. So he's going to talk about it a little bit, and then I'll just kind of skip to another section and go from there. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at it.
Yeah. So, first of all, the feedback that I've received from our guys, fishermen.
All right, let me just pause it real quick, guys, and just make sure if you guys can hear it okay. Go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat, just so I can make sure I don't want to play it and then think you guys have been hearing it. And let me just slow the speed of it down just a little bit, but just drop a 1 in the chat if you guys could hear the audio whenever I was just playing that, and just want to make sure everything looks okay, sounds okay, and then we'll hop right into it. All right, there we go. We got some confirmation from C219 Troll and from the member Paul Cominsky. All right, really appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and drop this audio. Here we go.
They were happy to see some guys that were being dishonest in the tournament scene get caught. So we'll back up. Everybody's always asking, how did this come about? How did you catch these guys? And a long story short is, I study the weights of what these teams need in order to win. And we have a team of the year race coming to a head on Friday in the championship. So I knew where the guys stood on the leaderboard and how many places that they would have to win or lose by to take that title. So I held teams off that were in the race, and particularly Ryan Buddy, Jason Koff were in third place. Steve Hendricks, Brian Ulmer were in second. And then the two guys in question here were leading the race. So I held those guys off to the end and weighed in. Steve Hendricks, Brian Ulmer, those guys ended up posting up a score good enough for 5th place in the tournament. They were sitting right about 22 pounds. And with that, I knew that the next guys needed to be 10th place or better because they had such a lead. They had about a 14-point lead that they needed 10th place or better to win. So I'm looking at the weight. They needed about 16 pounds to break 11th place, 16 and some change. So when I saw them sitting in the bump tank and pulling their fish and putting them into the basket, I said, okay, it's about a 4-pound fish. That's probably another 4-pound fish. Probably another 4-pound fish. Nothing big, nothing small. Those are average Lake Erie walleye fish right now. Just
sounds normal. Sounds normal.
Just a great, solid, healthy fish. And when they come up to the scale, they threw the first one on for big fish, and we weighed it in, and it was 790, I believe 790, and I'm just like, how? This is I see a lot of fish come across the scale.
All right, guys. All right, you heard that. You heard that. All right, so that is exactly what I was explaining a little earlier. If you have been fishing, whether you fish for brim, catfish, bass, crappie, whatever type of fish you have been fishing for, if you have done this long enough, whenever you see that fish, you can kind of approximate how much that fish weighs based on the size of what you can see before you even put it on the scale. So what he just said is he saw the fish, 4 or 5 pound fish, but when he weighed it, did he say 7.5? Did he say 7.5 or something like that? Definite red flag. All right, so let's just go ahead and finish listening to what he's saying.
And it's my job to create some of this drama, some of this hype. And if somebody comes up to the scale with a 10-pounder, and I'm like, oh yeah, here comes Ross Robertson with a walleye, and he puts it up there, and next thing you know, you're winning big fish, and I didn't even say a word about it. That's lame. And if, contrary to that, if you have some 6-pound walleye, it needs 9.7 to beat big fish, and it's a 6-pounder, I look dumb too. So I'm fairly accurate. I'm within a pound or something every time. So when I see this, I'm just like, wow, this is just no way. So they put the next 4 fish to make their 5-fish basket on the scale, and I'm thinking mid 20, 20-pound bag, just simply because the 4-pound average, you got 5 fish, that's 20, and you got, if there's 4.2, 4.3, whatever, it's going to bring you over 20 pounds. So I'm expecting that. And the scale jumps to like 33.9, and it almost 34 pounds.
Oh man, guys! So you heard that? You guys heard that? He's thinking in the 20s, and it jumps to the low to mid 30s. Definite red flag. So any of us would see that that's an issue. And guys, the other thing, keep in mind, if you go back and watch that original video, whenever he announces their weight and announces that they have won, crickets, no clapping, no cheering, no anything. And guys, that's not how we do. That's not how we do each other when we're out there. So when we are out there, we're competing against each other. But I mean, we're always happy for, not always happy, but for the most part, when someone's win, we want to congratulate them. You know what I mean? We want to share the happiness with them, share the wealth kind of, because we're out there having fun, enjoying the experience and everything. But in this situation, it was crickets. It was crickets, man. So everybody knew something was wrong. But let's go ahead and keep taking a look at it.
A 6 3/4 average. I mean, you're almost looking at a 7-pound average to get 35 pounds. And I'm just like, there's just no way. There's zero chance that those fish weigh that. I mean, I look at these fish all season long. Not only when I'm fishing, hell, when I'm fishing with my buddies, I caught an 8-pounder, but I hold that sucker way out here, and I'm leaning way back. The scale doesn't lie. So when I'm up there and I see a 4-pound fish, 5-pound fish, that's usually what they weigh. And these guys are mid-20s all day long on these tournaments. So I said, hey, step off the side. I want to get some photos of these fish, and I'd like you to hang out a minute. Well,
all right. So what I think he really meant is step to the side. I want you to hang out a minute so we can get the authorities on their way, because we're going to do some checks on these fish. So, take your time, take a few pics and stuff like that, but just kind of stall you just a little bit. That's what we're trying to do here.
It deflated me. It was like I let a balloon go, and it was just went, the wind was out of my sails, and I just don't know what to do. So I hear the crowd kind of grumbling. They're just, no way those fish, I believe somebody, when he even weighed big fish, was like, yeah, right. And I just knew I had to do something. So I said, I want to see those fish. So I inspected the fish. I pulled the first one out. I just looked simply, was it alive? And it wasn't alive.
Ooh, bad luck, guys. So yeah, with that type of tournament, I think they're allowed to bring in dead fish. I don't know for certain. I'm pretty sure someone in the comments does. So if you guys know for sure, you can drop that down there. But yeah, just imagine that feeling. That guy standing there with his head down because he knows that it's about to get real. It's about to get real. All right, so let's go ahead and see what else he has to say.
So this is, let me interrupt you for a second. This is when you took it, because I saw the video, and he was kind of just hanging around there with a bag. They both took pictures holding the fish up. Then the one guy disappeared, the other guy's holding the bag, and that's when you said, like, hey, I need to see your fish. Because I was in the video, it's kind of hard to tell because there was a couple guys yelling at him, like, cut him open.
Well, no, so I think, so prior to, the guys starting to get really animated, I told him, I said, I want to take a look at those fish. And, there was some communication back and forth, like, are you serious? This has got to stop. And I'm like, I am serious. I want to take a look at them. So I took a look at.
Yeah. So that was his last ditch effort to try to say, hey, there's no need. There's nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. I can't believe you don't trust me. How could you not trust me? I failed a lie detector before, but this time, hey, I've changed. Maybe you should, just trust me. Just trust me. Trust me this time. Nah, I can't do that.
The first one in the basket, and if people were yelling at that time, I didn't hear them. I was more focused on what I was doing. And I pulled the second fish out and I laid it on the ground and I squeezed the fish. I wanted to feel if it was mushy because both of these fish were dead. And when you have a walleye, there's a firmness about them. I'm sure you could, tell people more about that, Craig. I know you could. It's just, a live fish. They're firm. And
That's right.
I just want to feel the fish. I squeezed the fish. I squeezed the belly, and I immediately felt things in the belly of this fish, hard objects.
Producer dude, could you show a picture up there while we're doing this?
Oh, look at that, guys.
Yeah, so
look at that. I had some big lead golf balls in there.
And I told somebody, my weigh guy, I said, hey, go get me a knife. And he got me a knife, and I handed him my phone, and I said, videotape this, because if there was something in those fish, I wanted to show.
Goodness, guys, look at that. Hold on, let me pause that right there. Look at that. No! How many? Look at all that lead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Go ahead and call the cops. Call the cops. Man, who does that? And look at those fish fillets in there. I mean, they look like they're battered up and ready to be thrown in the frying pan. Goodness, man, what were they thinking? Okay, let's go ahead, guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna play a few more seconds of this, and then drop into a few more comments. See what you guys think. But this is the tournament director coming out and just clarifying some things. So he goes into a lot of detail throughout this video. Again, just playing a little bit of this through fair use through YouTube. So make sure you guys check out the Big Water YouTube channel. That way you can see the entire video. We're just going to go over a few little snippets and see what you guys think. Then we'll kind of, throw our own input in there and see how we would handle some of these situations and what is the solution?
Remove something from those fish. And as I cut that fish open, I immediately found one of the lead weights, and I just, oh my gosh, it was just.
I'm looking at your picture here, and you were looking like you're going to come off at somebody.
Yeah, so I'm trying. I said, see, the only thing I messed up on is I said, get the F out of here. If I would have just said you're out of here.
I know a lot of people. Hold on, let me just pause it real quick. All right, guys. I know a lot of people don't really have a problem based on that situation with the language that he was using. He's apologizing for it, but I mean, I think most people kind of understand. I mean, you kind of understand all of the heartache, the money, the time, the sweat, the tears that you have put into this. I mean, look at his face. Let me pull that up a little bit more. Look at his face, guys. And he's not even fishing the tournament. Guys. Just imagine if he's reacting like that, how the people that are actually fishing the tournament would be reacting. All right, so let's see what else he has to say.
I think you're all right. so yeah, I got a little animated, and just basically raw emotion came out at that time, and I said, get the hell out of here. And actually I said, get the F out of here. And then at that moment, it turned into, from a fishing tournament to a mob scene. I mean, these anglers, these guys that pour their heart and souls and money to this were just pissed. And this is
all right, guys. So yeah, so I just wanted to play that portion of it so he could kind of go through and explain things, give people some clarification. You're hearing it straight from him. So you see what he was, what he was thinking on his end. And remember, guys, as a tournament director, you still have to be kind of unbiased with everything. So you have one person over here saying, yeah, he's doing this, and that somebody else is saying, well, no, I don't know what he's talking about. So you can't really take sides without any evidence, without any proof. So he still has to kind of maintain his composure, even though you heard him say whenever he put those fish on the scale, he knew something wasn't right, but he's just trying his best to figure out how to handle this situation, because you know it is about to end up being a very, very big issue. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at a few more of the comments, guys, and then I will play a second part of a clip. Just him going over, well, actually the other tournament director explaining something about the lie detector test, guys, because that is something that a lot of people ask about. And I mean, it's like, how do you not have lie detector tests when you're fishing for such large amounts of money and things like that? It's really at this point seems like it's something that's going to have to be mandatory. And again, the question of the day is, if someone has been cheating in the past, how do you know that they are not fishing in the tournament that you are going to be competing in this weekend or next weekend? So how do we keep track of stuff like this, guys? And who would be okay? Drop this in the comments, guys. Who would be okay if someone was caught cheating in a tournament, and let's say they were suspended for 1 year or 5 years, 10 years? How many years would they need to be suspended in order for you to feel comfortable with dropping your $150, $200, $300 for an entry fee into a tournament to fish against somebody that you know for a fact had cheated in the past or been associated with an incident where there was cheating in the past? How many of you guys would be okay with that? And how many years would you say they should be suspended before you would feel comfortable fishing with that person? All right, so let's go ahead and hop back into the comments. Let's see. All right, so we got that one. All right, so Paul Gavinsky. All right, we have a member of the money team. Let me drop that money. Money team is in the house. Tattooed on the forehead, I'm a cheater. Whoa. Now that one's a little rough right there. I mean, yeah, I understand the feeling, but I don't know about that one. That may be a little too rough. Maybe there just needs to be some type of cheater database or something like that. You type in the name, and if your name pops up in there, it's a no-go for you, something like that. All right, so let's see. Rip Rap says, oh, what's going on, Rip Rap? Have not heard or seen from you in a while. Appreciate you stopping back in, checking out the channel again. Lake Altoona Monday night tournament caught some cheaters several years ago. They would have close to $1,000 pots. The guys had a basket head. Whoa. Glad they got caught. I mean, I want to hear some more information on that one. How did they catch those guys, and what did they end up doing with them, and what were their names? Who were they? You know what I mean? We got to get this kind of stuff out there, because who knows? I'm fishing a tournament this weekend and another one in a few months. Well, this weekend, I know these people wouldn't be showing up in the one I'm fishing this weekend, but will they show up in some other tournament? That is the question. That's the question. Don't want that. But yeah, drop some more information in there. How did they catch these guys if they were putting the fish in the bucket? All right. So Al Small says, no. Yeah, that's right. All right. Let's see who else is in. Okay. So we have somebody stepping in. What's going on, Stephen? Glad to have you into the live stream, checking things out. All right. Rip Rap says, let's see. I've weighed in a mini of bass in our club. I guess the weights of each fish within 2 or 3 ounces when they weighed a big fish. Kind of interesting. Let's see. I could guess the weights of each fish within 2 or 3 ounces when they weighed a big fish. There you go. I mean, like I said, a lot of us kind of have that little gift of where we can take a look at it and say, yeah, that's a 3.7 or that's a 2.8, that kind of thing going on. All right. And we have Treya checking into the live stream. All right, appreciate you stopping in. You know, you said you might do a little bit of fishing or something like that. But yeah, you guys check out her YouTube channel. If you're interested in gaining a little freedom, maybe you want to add a little income to what you're currently making. She does Turo, and she talks about Turo and how to get started, which is starting your own car rental business. And it's not as hard as you might think right offhand. So yeah, check out her channel. Just search Treya Turo, and that's Turo on YouTube, and she'll pop right up. And yeah, just take a look at that, guys. If you want a little extra tournament fishing money, yeah, just check that out. All right, let's see who else we have. Cowboy Jack. Cowboy Jack says, when they cut open the walleye and held up the weights, the guys in the crowd yelling, "I blankety blankety blank knew it." Priceless. That is correct. I agree with that. Man, when they cut those fish open and he said, "We have weights and fish." Woo, yeah, it was rough out there. It was rough, guys. I did not think they were gonna make it out of there without getting touched a little bit. All right, so we have Harry stepping in. What's going on, Harry? Appreciate you stepping back into the into the chat. Okay, let's see. Sounds like Money Bass fishing against Chicken Hawk. Hope you're doing well this evening. What's going on? Really appreciate you stopping into the chat. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. Here he also says 8 pounds of weights, I think, probably caught undersized walleye and filleted them to stuff them into the ones they caught in the tournament. Right. And actually, I'm kind of thinking that they may have already had those fish. I mean, of course, this is speculation. So I heard a story. Let me just tell you guys this real quick. Okay, so and I'm not sure who I heard this from, but it was something on YouTube that I watched recently. I would say within the past week or so. So basically, there was a tournament angler that was fishing tournaments. He actually had a co-angler on his boat, and I believe at some point there could have actually been a cameraman on his boat. And if you guys watch this full interview from the snippets that I'm playing, he actually had placed cameras on these guys' boats, and they still were able to do that with a cameraman on the boat. So what they said this angler was doing is he had another compartment within his live well, So what he was doing was when he would catch a fish, he would put the smaller fish into the compartment and take the bigger fish out. So, you know, the co-angler's already fishing, going about what he's doing. And if the cameraman or something's on there, he has his back. I'm just guessing would have his back covering up so you can't necessarily see what he's doing in there. So that's not what happened in this situation as far as the walleye thing, but I'm just giving an example of what I've heard in another instance where someone may have already had fish. So maybe they had already caught these fish, already stuffed the weights in there and everything, since they were under so much scrutiny already. They may have already had those fish hit on the boat, because they did say, remember, he said those fish were very mushy and you could tell they weren't fresh at all. So just don't know, guys. You just don't know. And the other thing, we're trying to put ourselves in the minds of someone that would do something like this. And if you're somebody who just would not do anything like this, it's just foreign. So it would be kind of hard to even think of, you know, why or how and all this kind of stuff until you actually catch them and you see the hard evidence on it. All right, so let's see who else we have. We have Juan. Let's see what Juan has to say. I wouldn't want to fish with a known cheater. No, me either. I mean, unless if they pay my entry fee, my gas, my hotel and stuff, and I know I'm there fishing for fun and for free, maybe throw me a little tip in there, then maybe, maybe. All right, so let's see. Paul. All right, we have the money team member. All right, so Paul says he watched it yesterday. All right, yeah. So I mean, it's out there. This thing has gone super viral. Everybody knows about tournament fishing at this point, where people didn't even know that. And it's still kind of funny for on our end, guys, because there are people who still don't know that you can actually win money with fishing, with tournament fishing, or that tournament fishing even exists. So we're expanding. We're getting out there. We're getting known, guys. All right. Gotta love it. All right. So Harry says some people think Mega Live and Mega 360 are cheating. Joking. You're joking. But people actually think that. And also, while you're saying that, whenever I first started fishing, I used to think that it was just as simple as you get your lures, you head out there, you cast them, and just see who can come back with the best five. So once I started learning about fishing, one of the first things I heard about was putting scents that you could dip and put scents on the bait, to kind of help put attractants on the bait to help, help improve catching fish. And the first thing I thought when the person told me that, I was like, you can do that? I was like, isn't that cheating? I mean, how can you just add something to your bait to enhance it? So that was the first thing. The next thing I remember when I found out about fish finders in general, graphs, and somebody said the word fish finder, and I was like, fish finder? What do you mean fish finder? And they pointed to it, and I was like, a fish finder? That has to be cheating. I was like, you can have that? That's cheating? I mean, who would have a fish finder on there if you're fishing and it's a tournament? But yeah, I mean, hey guys, I learned a lot, and I learned it very quickly that it was definitely, in my opinion, at that point, not just about the skill of the individual angler, because you have different level of enhancements, guys. You know what I'm saying? You can, there's enhancements that people are adding on top of their skills. So somewhere along that line, as long as you keep adding and adding and adding and adding and adding, where's the actual skill level at? It's in there somewhere. And so that could all be a part of the skill level. Maybe you need a crawdad scent, or maybe you need a olive oil scent or a coffee scent. Everybody has all these different things, different techniques. So maybe that skill comes in whenever you're presenting what you have learned, what you have figured out in the sport with any of the equipment or gear that you have access to. All right. So some people think Mega Live and Mega 360 are cheating. That is correct. That is correct. All right, let's see who else we have. We have Chiquita Pearson. What is going on? What you doing checking into the live stream? What you know about catching some fish? You know how to catch some fish out there on the lake? All right, appreciate you stepping into the live stream. Quick comment. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, Harry says, it's a wonder they didn't get a old-fashioned butt whooping. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I was kind of looking like they're just the guy's just standing there, and it looks like his buddy had took off and just kind of left him there by himself. So yeah, those guys had him surrounded, and it wasn't looking pretty good. All right, and let's see who else we have. We have Chiquita says, Harry, yes, some anglers on the circuit don't like all the new electronics. Look, okay, Chiquita knows a little something. She knows us a little something. All right, let's see. Harry says, I have the 360 and going to get Mega Live this fall myself. There you go. I mean, great combo. Great combo. All right, Josh, what is going on? What is going on? Josh says, if you are caught cheating, you should be suspended forever. Woo, suspended forever. Okay. Never going to trust them again. I mean, yeah. I don't see how you can. And I guess what I'm looking to see, I mean, I like to see what you guys think. And I'm wondering if there's anybody out there would say, yeah, I'd be okay with fishing against them in 2 years or something, if they attended a non-fish cheating meeting, or what's that, cheating anonymous or something like that. Yeah, have some type of training or something like that. All right, so Harry says at least 1 to 2 years and a non-affiliated person in the boat with them that they have to pay for. So if they want to fish the tournament, but yeah, I mean, even with that, to me, just the thought of even the person taking the time to do something that sinister, if you're going to cheat like that, you should not even be able to enjoy the competition and being in the presence of people that are not on that level. So to me, I just don't see it. I don't think they should be rewarded, especially if you do something like that purposely. And I don't see how you can unpurposely stuff some lead into some fish. I don't think that can be done accidentally, guys. All right, so let's see. One says, I'm not fishing it if they let a known cheater fish it. Agreed. All right, Texas Nuke 2010 says, since they have won over 300K in money and prizes, banned for life. Woo! Yeah, that is a lot of money. I mean, they've won enough money where they don't need to come back, but they should have to return all of that. And that is another thing, guys. If you have a tournament organization, one of the things that to me that should be in that contract or in that rules and regulations that the tournament fishermen sign off on, it should say something like, and I wrote this down, if you are caught cheating at any time during the season or any events that are affiliated with that trail that you're fishing, all the funds that you have won at any time in that trail need to be returned. So, and have the people sign off on that. So, all right. So Chiquita says, never suspend them forever. All right. Let's see what Josh says. Josh says, I believe, let me see. I believe if they would have let them claim the money prize, then turn them into the police, that would have been a major felony with that amount of money. Correct. Correct. That was one of the things that I would say was a mistake. So at the beginning of the live stream, when I was kind of talking about it, and I said one of the things that the tournament director said was just leave and get out of here. He should have actually had them wait there, which they did, but they should have allowed them to accept the funds, because now they have completed the entire transaction and completed the entire crime of accepting those funds under a fraudulent situation. And at that point, they're done. So right now, you can't necessarily charge them with something that they did not do yet. So they did not accept those funds. So yeah, that in other cases where I've heard about someone cheating, that is what they did. They actually awarded them the prize first, and as they actually accepted the prize, they accepted some handcuffs. That's right. So they accepted some handcuffs with some prize money. I mean, well, with a prize check that they were thinking they were going to get. All right. So let's see. Deshaun Peck says, nope, fishing license should be revoked for life. Yes. Yes. In that type of situation, yes, they should have their fishing license revoked also. And actually, guys, if there is a way to revoke that fishing license and have it to where it is monitored from state to state, that would be your way right there of kind of eliminating the person being able to fish in the tournaments. But then again, that would kind of lead to, now you have to not only do you have to see the license, which they could forge, you would have to verify that license through the actual place where you can pick those licenses up. So yeah, I mean, we just got to get with the guys. We have to work together, because the passion that we have for this sport, we can't just let guys like this continue to be involved in it. They should have their own league, the Cheaters League, and let them go over there and handle business however they choose to take care of business over there. All right, so let's see what else we have. We have Paul. All right, Paul, the money team member. All right, guys, make sure you hit that join button down there. We have Paul Gavinsky. He is a member of the money team. So giving him a special shout out. If you can't stick your fish, let me see. If you can't stick your fish in that fish's, wait a second, let's see. If you can't stick your fist in that fish's mouth, then it ain't no 7-pounder. That's right. That's right. And see, it appears these walleye are some pretty nice sized fish. But yeah, if you catch a 7-pounder out here, and actually they have some small some spotted bass out here at Lake Lanier that can push close to that 7-pound mark. But yeah, if you catch a largemouth, you definitely can put a whole fist inside of that thing. All right, so let's see. Paul Gavinsky. All right, back again. Member of the money team says, if those guys were in the lead going in and the normal weight was 4 pounds each, do you think they shot themselves in the foot by loading them up with that much weight? I'm glad they caught them though. Yes, definitely. That was kind of outrageous. That was crazy to add that much weight. I mean, you guys saw the screenshot of what was it, 10 big lead balls. Look like they're the size of golf balls. They have stuffed inside of those fish. That was definitely overkill. They needed 16 pounds. They needed 16 pounds. They had 33 pounds. So who's to say that those fish that they had, if they hadn't stuffed the weights in there, that they had actually caught those fish anyways? So think about that. Anything that you do from that point on is called into question. So we can't even say, if they had just went ahead and weighed the fish and not stuffed the weights in there, they still would have won, but not really. How do we know that they actually caught those fish legitimately the way they should have during that tournament? All right, let's see who else we have stepping in. We have Harry. Harry says, did you see the Mega Live hand control universal? Yes, I did see that. And it's basically just a manually controlled pole that you can use to control the Mega Live system. So for me, Yeah, that wouldn't necessarily work for me. I can see how it may work for somebody that kind of sits in an area where they can stay still a lot. So maybe I'm thinking like if you're crappie fishing or brim fishing or something like that, where you're not doing a lot of moving, you can just kind of post up in one spot. Then I can see how that can help. But as far as bass fishing, we're moving around a lot. Well, for me, I move around a lot, so that would not necessarily work for me. All right, then we have Treya. She says enhancements. Yes, we use enhancements in fishing. We enhance the baits and stuff like that. What are you talking about over there, Treya? All right. All right. So we have Rick Patterson. He says, I wouldn't want to fish with people who cheat, but ban them for 10 years and a fine 50,000 to 100,000 makes them think twice.
Yes, sir.
And that's right. That's right. So yeah. So it's like even if the 10 years are up. So let's say the person's 10 years are up this Thursday coming up, and they're like, hey man, I want to come and fish your tournament. Well, I know you're fishing a tournament this weekend. I'm going to sign up and fish that same tournament. They've been out of the game for 10 years, out of the tournament game for 10 years. That doesn't mean they haven't been out there fishing and stuff like that still, because maybe they still have the fishing license. So would you still want to fish against them? I just couldn't see it. I wouldn't want to do that. All right, let's see who else we have. Rick Patterson. We have Harry. All right, let's see what Harry has to say. Wondering if the new Mega Live hand control might be a benefit since it's not attached to the trolling motor. Yeah, so for me, I need that movement. I like it being connected and moving with that foot pedal on the trolling motor because I can make quick adjustments. I can make slow adjustments when I need to. And it's just a lot faster and more efficient for me being on the trolling motor. But the target lock, as long as it, stays to where you have your trolling motor and you have the Mega Live on the target lock, when you're moving it, it stays in sync. So that way, that would be better for me. But the manual hand control, my style of fishing, that would not be a good benefit for me. All right, Stephen says, I think they should be banned for life. Fishing is a sport based on the honor system. True. I agree. All right, and let's see. Oh my goodness, guys, look what we have. Let me hit the $sign. We have a super chat. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate that. All right, a $10 super chat from Stephen Walden. And no question, no comment, just the pure love of the game and the support of the channel. Gotta love it. All of that helps. So maybe that'll be a little gas money that I can throw in the boat to bring some more footage to you guys. I really appreciate the support of the channel in any kind of way, guys. And I really appreciate anybody and everybody that takes the time to join in, comment, and participate in the channel and the live stream. Really appreciate it, Stefan. Really appreciate that. All right, let's see what we have next. We have another one. Gotta love it, guys. Really appreciate it. All right, so let's see. Money Bass, the real deal, honest man. Hey, I try to do my best. I mean, because in fishing, and I guess in life, depending on how you're raised and where you're from and everything, your reputation, your word is, it's a big thing. So you definitely have to protect that. All right, let's see who else we have. All right, I'm going to shoot through these comments real quick, guys, to get caught up. And then I had another part of the video that I wanted to skip to real quick. All right, let's see. Where were we at? Let's see. Really appreciate that. Treya and Stephen Walden. Really appreciate it. All right, and then we have, oh my goodness, guys. We have another one. Deshaun Peck. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate you stepping in and supporting the channel. Again, long-time subscriber and supporter of the channel. Really appreciate that super chat. All right. Yeah, guys, I'll put this to work for you out there on the lake. So maybe I'll bring home that win this weekend, So, hey, maybe it'll be a good thing for us. All right. Really appreciate the support of the channel, guys. All right. So we have Cowboy Jack says some states have license suspensions, reciprocity, and some don't participate. Yeah, so that's the thing. I think in this situation, this guy has went nationwide, probably worldwide, because I get views and subscribers from my channel that are outside of the United States. So with this situation being so big, they're known just about everywhere. I'd have to pack up and leave. I would not even be able to stay in that same state anymore. All right. And then so he says downriggers weight. So I'm not sure what that means, but I know that that's a style of fishing. But yeah, yeah. All right. Appreciate the comment, Paul. All right, let's see. Treya says world's dumbest cheaters. Well, I mean, you say that, but think, I mean, maybe you're not familiar with it. These guys have won, from what they're saying, around $3 million, around $3 million in their total winnings. So their whole reputation is called into question. They had won up to $300,000, I think they said, either last year or this year so far, along with a boat. And they said that boat was around $100,000 boat. So yeah, so they're, I mean, we're saying they're dumb. They, in the end, yeah, in the end, I would say, yeah, they did something dumb. But in order for them to have put in all of those lead weights, in my opinion, I would think that they were doing that a little bit at a time previously, and they had got so confident in it. And again, this is just me just thinking out loud about it. What would make you put that many lead balls? I mean, those things were big, guys, inside a fish, and feel that you're actually going to get away with that. I mean, you're almost doubling some of the weight of a fish. So yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, and we have we have another one. All right, appreciate that, Deshaun Peck. Nice job. Really, really appreciate the support of the channel. It really means a lot, guys. Putting in a lot of work out there on the water. I was out there today getting more footage for you guys. So that should be coming up this week or maybe next week. But getting prepared for this tournament for this weekend. And it's a tough one, guys. It's a tough one. But I'm going to go back out there because I want to show you guys that Mega Live footage that I've been pulling up. It is great. I got some great footage, guys. Great footage. All right, so let's see. Chiquita Pearson says, any incidents known where co-anglers had given the pro angler their fish to increase their weight, their weigh-in? Another one, another way that people can cheat. So I'm pretty sure. I mean, I haven't heard of any specifically, but I'm pretty sure that if the boater is in contention to win a prize or something like that, and that co-angler is like, hey, I mean, if you happen to have two dishonest people on that same boat, and that co-angler is like, break me off a little something, then they may combine their weights. But that's why the lie detector test is so important, because two people being able to pass a lie detector test, yeah, they'll have to answer some questions. So I don't think they'll be getting away with that. All right, so let's drop in two more comments real quick. Let's see, did I just read this one? All right, there we go. All right, then we have Treya checking in, says, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. So let's go ahead and pull up the next little portion of this video. Just bear with me, guys. I just wanted to show, let's see, just share my screen again. And then we'll scroll to this other part of the video. I just want to get your guys some feedback on this and see what you guys think about it. All right, let me slide over here to right about here. All right, here we go, guys.
Jason, just roughly a week ago, where we kind of talked about some of these things, but and I've heard Craig say this, I think on our podcast as well last year, where you're like, I'm not out to get technicalities on people, but we just want to know that you're not putting egg sinkers in your fish. So I guess that's the big question that people have, and I know you don't have an answer, but we got to talk about it. It's the elephant in the room of, and I'm sure just for moving forward, if nothing else, like this is water under the bridge, but it's still a hot topic, right? And people will want to know moving forward, like how does a guy pass one lie detector test, the same condition, same fish, and then not pass another?
Well, I mean, I can't answer that.
And just real quick, just for clarification, they ran a tournament where there were two tournaments going on at the same time. They allowed people to participate in both tournaments, even though they were separate events. If you win this tournament, let me see if you guys can see me. So if you win tournament number 1, you can also bring that same fish over and win tournament number 2, if that is the biggest fish in the other tournament. So that is what they're talking about. These same group of guys, they fished 2 tournaments at once. And that is what he is talking about when he says, how could you pass one lie detector test? So they they failed one lie detector test. So they were disqualified and did not win the funds in this tournament, took the same fish to the other tournament, but passed their lie detector test, and they were allowed to take those funds. So that is what they're talking about. So let's see what he has to say about that.
I don't believe Jason can either. I know he uses reputable guys. We use reputable guys. Because people have paid money to enter these events, you can't just change rules in the middle. And simply put, they passed our test. I'm required to pay them. I cannot not pay somebody because I don't like them. I don't like their wife. I don't like their dog. I don't like the way they cut their grass. We have rules in place and we have to follow them. Things like this happen, and I'm sure, I don't want to speak for Jason, but we'll respond and we'll do our best to try to keep these as fair as we possibly can. I wish I had a rock solid answer for everybody. And, well, this is how it happens, and this is the next thing we're going to run into. And I don't. It's true, and I'm sure Jason will say the same thing. In our hearts, we want to believe that everybody's fishing these for the right reason. They want to come to our communities, fish for our fish because they're beautiful and the fishing's wonderful. And there's all these positive things, and it's a very small portion of people that will ruin it for you. And I just don't have the words to say why it happens or how it happens. It just happens.
All right. So so basically that's what he was speaking about in that situation. They actually had two separate tournaments. He was this gentleman on the screen. He was the tournament director in one. The other guy that was initially talking was the tournament director in the other one. They entered both tournaments at the same time, brought the fish to one tournament, failed the lie detector test, disqualified, did not get the payout, passed the lie detector test on the other one, and they received those funds. Not good, not good, not good. So it just seems as though there should be something thought out ahead of time, because now we all know that there are some guys that are actively out there, guys. I want you to think about this. There are guys that are actively out there that have cheated in other tournaments, but have now moved on and they're fishing in your tournaments. What do you guys think about that? What would you do? How would you know? What would you do to stop it? So if you just look at it from this standpoint, just say there is somebody that is going to be cheating in this tournament that you're about to fish in a week or 2 weeks or whatever. What do you do now to prevent that? What do you do now to prevent that? All right, so let's see. Let me just if anybody has any comments or anything about that little segment, drop that in the comments and I'll pull that up. All right, and let me just play one more portion for you guys, and then actually let me see who else we have in the chat. Let's see, invite. All right, and I'm gonna drop this link. So, tournament fishermen, if anybody is in here that fishes tournaments, whether you fish crappie tournaments, bass tournaments, walleye tournaments, catfish tournaments, I'm dropping the link in here. If you want to come up and just chit chat about it real quick, just kind of give us some information, like especially like if it's crappie fishermen or something like that. Because for me, the top tournaments that I hear about now are, well, obviously there's bass fishing, crappie fishing, and now walleye fishing. Those, I would say, those are the top three that I know about, and I'm pretty sure there are more than just those. But yeah, if you participate in any of those type of tournaments, hit that link. I can pull you up on the screen, and just want to hear your thoughts on this. And and if you've ever been fishing a tournament where there was a cheater that was caught or cheating was involved. And I'm trying, yes, I actually have been involved in a tournament where somebody was caught and they were disqualified. So yeah, it's happening, guys. It happens out there. So yeah, just want to see what you guys think about it. All right, but let me go ahead and go to this next segment real quick. All right, here we go. All right, guys, here we go. Let's see what he has to say.
Just because I want to touch on what Craig said. So you asked about, how do we get away from the polygraphs and the tests, and how do you get two different answers? The first and very simple answer is, number one, it's a tool and it's administered by a human being. Okay. And that human being was different when it was taken the first time and then the second time. So 2 human beings are going to conduct the test differently. They're going to ask different questions, and they're going to get slightly different results. Also, it was just simply taken on a different day. So, there's many factors, but I just wanted to throw out there that at the end of the day, these instruments and these tools that we use, it's the only thing we can do to prevent any type of dishonesty is still administered by a person who is subject to making mistakes or simply not asking something to get the right result that you want. And you just never know what happened. So you have the human error element in some of these tests also. And then what was the second part of the question?
The observer?
Okay,
about the observers that were put in, or having any idea maybe something was taking place?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is just kind of explaining about the lie detector test part. And for me, you have to be very bold to enter a tournament knowing that there's going to be a lie detector test, to cheat in that tournament, then go and willingly take the lie detector test. So you know this ahead of time and you still go into the tournament and cheat. That's on a whole nother level. And for me, I'm just thinking maybe people know that the consequence of them getting caught is not enough to deter them from doing it, because maybe they feel like, hey, I'll do this and then I'll just leave and go and fish something else. I just won't fish with you guys again. I'll go and take me and my cheating someplace else that you guys won't allow me to do it over here. But let's go ahead and see what else he had to say.
Yeah, so these guys throughout the course of the year, they win tournaments and they've taken all these tests. I personally this year have sent them to a voice stress test. I sent them to an actual polygraph test, and then as they continue to win, anglers get continuously agitated. So how do I negate this? And I have 2 ways. I could just simply say, can I put an observer on your boat and piss people off? Because I don't want somebody to think that I'm targeting them, because I'm not. So I wanted to document our team of the year race, and I put camera guys on 3 different boats.
Whoa! They had cameramen on the boat.
And the first, second, and the guy had won Big Fish Friday with I believe a 12-pounder. So I put camera guys on those boats, expecting that they were going to have good days. And when I spoke with these guys midday, it was to change the camera guy from one boat to another, and they wouldn't let me do it. They were having a really good day, which could be possible, or they really wanted to stick it to me and conduct whatever type of dishonesty they did right underneath my nose.
Whoa, guys, you hear that? All right, so there we go. That's where we're gonna stop the clips at. But man, he just said he had a cameraman on the boat with these guys, and they still were able to do what they did. How could that happen? How could that happen? Think about that. There's a cameraman on the boat filming them, everything they're doing. So that still kind of leads me to believe, and of course, this is speculation. I don't know for sure. Everybody wants to throw in their thoughts, ideas, and everything. So in my opinion, I'm thinking that they already had these fish based on the tournament director saying that when he touched the fish, they just did not feel right. They had a mushy feeling to them. They were no longer like kind of firm feeling as whenever we first catch fish, the flesh feels different. But as fish sit for hours, days, maybe these fish were all some fish that were brought back from being previously caught before and already pre-rigged with the weights and everything. Pre-rigged, huh? Pre-rigged with the weights and everything like that. So maybe something like that happened, guys, but that's tough. That's tough. What do you guys think about that? But yeah, so he had a cameraman on the boat and was still able to get away with that. All right, so let's see who else we have. So Chiquita says, any incidents known where the co-angler had given the pro angler the fish? All right, so I answered that one. And let's see, let me skip down. Here we go. All right, so we have Red Boat. All right, glad you made it in. All right, Big Money made it here. How are you? All right, everything is going great, going great. All right, guys, and I dropped that link in there just in case anybody wants to come up. All you have to do is click that link. You have to make sure that you cam up. You have to cam up. I'll bring you up. We'll share the screen for a minute, and you can just drop your ideas, thoughts, comments, or what you think about the topic. All right, so we also have Red Boat says, I think if you are in the top 5 every year in the money, they should put cameras in those boats. Yeah, I mean, so for me, I don't really have a camera. I mean, have a problem with a camera in the boat, because if you subscribe and watch to my videos, guys, I pretty much always have a camera in my boat. So pretty much all of my catches are documented. So I would not have a problem with that. The thing that I see that some people would have a problem with is they don't want people to know that, hey, that's my spot. And people will steal your spots if they know where you're fishing at and they see you catching a bunch of fish. I mean, you see that in professional fishing all the time, where they're racing to get to a certain spot, and sometimes it may be a defensive move. So yeah, that's the only thing I can see with putting the cameras on there. So maybe they could be angled in a way to where you can watch that, the fishermen, without necessarily seeing the spot that they're at, if that's, if that's an issue for people. And I know that would be an issue for people, just through the years of tournament fishing. That's something that I've heard, and why some people fish some tournaments and not others, because of just the way things are set up. So that's just some food for thought. All right, so let's see who else we have. That was Red Boat. All right, let's see, who else do we have? Who is this? We have the Intentional Millionaire. Let me hit the cha-ching, the dollar sign, the Intentional Millionaire, guys. This guy is in real estate, and he was intentional with becoming a millionaire. So make sure you check out his channel. He says, salute to Money Bass. I'm here to cheat, copy, and duplicate. He says, I'm here to cheat, copy, and duplicate. All right, I guess that's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. All right, appreciate you stepping in. All right, let's see who else we have. Let's see, what is this? Uh-oh, guys, we have another one. Another super chat. Valdezi. Appreciate it. Appreciate you stepping in to the live stream, checking out a little bit of fishing, and has dropped the super chat for $4.99. Appreciate the support of the channel. Appreciate it. And guys, no question, there's no comment, just a pure love of the game and supporting of the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. All right, so let's see who else we have. We have Cowboy Jack says, I don't know if one could ever eliminate cheating, fishing, taxes, business, etc. Some people have no integrity or honor. That is right. That's it. No integrity or honor. And that is really the basis of our sport. We don't have marshals on all of our boats. At the higher levels, the FLW, Bassmaster, all of that, those guys have marshals. They have cameramen on their boat. But for us, integrity, honor, our word, those things mean a lot. And sometimes, I mean, you have to really stand up to protect that. So yeah, you definitely don't want those kind of problems. All right, so let's see who else we have checking in. The Intentional Millionaire says he paid the cameraman to pause the recording. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. We can't bring the cameraman into it. I mean, unless it was his brother. Unless it was his brother or a relative or something like that. But nah, we can't mess with the cameraman. The cameraman out there just trying to do his job, just have a little bit of fun out there on the boat. All right, so we have Paul Gavinsky. Look at this, guys. We have a member of the Money Team, the first member of the Money Bass channel. Really, really appreciate it, guys. Having a good time tonight. I'm really appreciating the feedback, the comments, the participation of everybody. Paul Gavinsky says, Walleye tournament do not get televised in a few months. Let me see. Walleye tournament do get televised in a few months. So who knows if it will be seen later or not. Whoa. Okay. Man, wait a minute. Are you saying that they actually show walleye tournaments on TV to where we can watch those? I want to know that, because if they do, think about this, guys. How big, who doesn't want to see the footage of them out on the lake? Everybody wants to see the footage. If you guys look at the amount of views, the amount of coverage that this one walleye tournament is getting, who would not want to air this? So, Paul, do they show walleye tournaments on TV? And if so, what channel do they come on? And when is this one coming on? I think everybody wants to see this, even if you're not into fishing. I mean, I didn't even know that there were walleye tournaments until, yeah, I think until I heard about this. So now we're gonna go from not even knowing about walleye tournaments to everybody wants to see it. I mean, yeah, everybody wants to see this. All right, so let's see. Let me see. Let me skip down. Had the intentional millionaire. All right, hold on one second. Let me get caught up. All right, there we go. All right, so Valdezi, he says, so I see people be cheating in all parts of life. That's right. And that is bad. Even fishing. We have some drama over here, guys. Some drama in fishing. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought that? All right, so Al Small says they don't cheat. Wait a second. They don't check the live wells in the tournament. Do they check the live wells? So who said that? That's Al Small. So Al Smalls, you are a tournament fisherman, right? I'm guessing you are. So I would say that yes, they do check the live wells, but I've been in some tournaments where you just pass by real quick. They may try to shine something in there, but I very seriously doubt that they would have had these fish in the live well before the tournament. That is way too risky. And they had a cameraman on there, because whenever you go through boat check and they check your live well, sometimes people actually get on your boat and they open the live wells and look down and check everything themselves. Sometimes you just cruise on by, but I don't think that there would be a circumstance where they would take the chance of just putting some fish in the live well. That's just way too, I mean, sticking those big weights in there was way crazy. That many big weights in there was way, but just putting fish in the live well, that's a step above that in my opinion. But yeah, so I would say that they probably did check the live well. And what I would say, my speculation is that they had these same fish already hid. Maybe they were on ice or something like that in another part of the boat. And maybe after the cameraman had got off the boat, maybe they unloaded them that way. But again, this is just my thoughts, my opinions. This is not, there's nothing to say that actually happened. Just us just throwing out some ideas of what could have happened here, because everybody's talking about it. So yeah, so we have some little controversy, some drama going on over here. All right, so let's see who else we have. We have Al Small says they don't check the live wells. Okay, I just checked that one. All right, we have, look who we have checking in. Money Bass. All right, we have N Allen 007. Now she has a YouTube channel too, guys, and hers, she's been making some very good shorts. So and basically shorts are like videos that are less than a minute long, and she has some very good ones. I mean, they have a little comedy twist in there. So yeah, check out her channel. Just search N Allen 007 on YouTube, and it should come right up, guys. I really appreciate you stopping in and checking out the live stream. All right, so we have Cowboy Jack. What does Cowboy Jack have to say? There was a walleye tournament tour last year called Head to Head Fishing. All boats were live streamed all day. They couldn't even use cell phones for fear of getting fishing info on the phone. Right, so I've heard of that. I've heard of that before, where you can't even use your phone. But see, for some, depending on, man, that's kind of a tough one, because if you're self-employed or something like that, that phone is kind of the lifeline, depending on what type of business that you have. So yeah, not checking the phone. So that's kind of a tough one. But getting information while you're out on the lake, yeah, that's a tough one too. But yeah, so I guess walleye tournaments are, obviously they're pretty big. If these guys have won around $3 million, $300,000 within 1 year, and fishing for an additional $45,000 in one tournament. So yeah, I'm pretty sure walleye tournaments are very, very big. But yeah, so I definitely, like I said, I want to see this video. If they have footage, if they're going to put that camera footage on there, it's going to go crazy. I mean, I can see media outlets everywhere just bidding to get that footage so that they can show it on, on their channel. All right, let's see who else we have. We have Paul Gavinsky says, I have Roku and I get all bass fishing. Let me see, college or high school, and also walleye fishing. Look at that, guys, walleye fishing. All right, Paul Gavinsky, the member of the money team, checking in again with another comment. All right, yeah. So I've never watched walleye fishing. I wonder how exciting that is because I don't even know the techniques that they use. I would think because walleye are pretty deep from what I remember. I've never actually even caught one before. But yeah, I think they're pretty deep in the water column. So maybe they have to troll around trying to catch those. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, but now I think a lot of people are going to be checking into some walleye fishing to see exactly how what's going on over there. All right, so let's see. Red Boat says my brother Chicken Wayne fish tournaments in Arkansas all the time. He always tells me sooner or later the cheater will get caught. Yeah, yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully so. But a lot of these guys, I mean, they're doing all kind of crazy stuff that we would not even think of. We wouldn't even think of some of the things that these guys are doing. All right, and let's see. Let me see. Did I miss something up here? Okay, I think I got everybody. All right, Stefan says, can you speak on your cheating experience? Oh, so the time where I was in a tournament and someone actually got disqualified for cheating. Let me think if I want to talk about that one. Hmm. Well, I guess I can give you a brief synopsis of it. So basically, what happened in the tournament, I can't remember what place I was in, but the person, I believe they actually won the tournament. There's a one of the rules is that you can't, if you, so in bass fishing, you have to bring your fish in alive or you're going to lose points for that. So, and if you have a fish that you have caught and that fish dies, you cannot throw that back and replace it with another fish. You're stuck with that dead fish. So let's say, for instance, if you have 4 good fish on your boat and then you catch one additional fish, now you have your 5. And that 5th fish, let's just say that happens to be the smallest fish in your boat. So you have all 3-pounders and then you have a 1-pounder and you catch another 4, you catch a 4-pounder. Now what you want to do is throw this smallest fish back and replace that 1-pound fish with this 4-pounder. So now you're back at 5. But if that 1-pounder dies, you have to keep that fish. Now you have to throw back one of those 3-pounders and keep that 4. But that dead fish stays with you for the tournament. So what this person was doing, they were there. They had some dead fish and they were throwing those dead fish back. They were culling dead fish. And we found out about it and they were disqualified. So that was kind of my incident. So it wasn't something where somebody was actually taking fish out of baskets or what was the other, or adding weights to the fish. This one was they were colored. So in a way, I mean, it's still a bad thing. I mean, they definitely deserve to be disqualified. I think anything that is just kind of stepping over the line like that, where you are purposely doing something, you're done because that shows a lack of integrity. So you can't be trusted. So therefore, that's it. Just over. Done. Get out of here. Go home. All right. So Paul Gavinsky says the fishing channel. All right. So yeah, definitely. There we go, guys. We got to check out the fishing channel so we can see a little bit of some walleye fishing. All right. So yeah, I mean, they're getting all kind of publicity, guys. All right. So man, they're gonna just knock bass fishing off to the side. What if they start replacing bass fishing with walleye fishing, guys? All right. So Cowboy Jack says yes, many walleye tournaments televised, sportsman outdoor channels. All right, there we go. There we go, guys. All right, and we have TaylorMade. Mr. TaylorMade stepping in. Appreciate you coming back, long time subscriber of the channel. He says tournament directors are trying their best with live well checks and lie detector tests. The only way to stop a cheater is to bring a bigger bag to the scale. Right. That is true. That's what I mean. You can bring that bigger bag, but man, it says cheaters must be stopped. Cheaters must be stopped. I agree with that, man. We got to work together and get that out of our sport. All right, and let's see. All right, we have the money team member. We have Mr. Paul Gavinsky. He's dropping back-to-back comments. Let's see what Paul Gavinsky has to say. Usually they check to make sure the pumps are working, but since walleye can be brought in dead, wow. Yeah, so how does that work, bringing in dead fish when you're fishing tournaments? I mean, how fast does it take to just deplete that lake? But I did see where someone said that those fish are stocked in the lake, so maybe they just restock them with larger size fish. But Yeah, that just seems kind of tough right there to just be able to just bring in dead fish that you're not going to release. But yeah, and I think that they said they donate the meat to different food places and charities and stuff like that for the fish. All right, and Paul also says they can put out quite a few rods at one time. They use trolling boards. Okay. All right, trolling boards. That's what I kind of figured. All right, thanks for the clarification on that. So they can put out a few rods. So it's kind of like striper fishing. So long lining. Is that what it is? Because I used to striper fish also, and that's what the technique that I used a lot was long lining, but that was using a lot of gas. So I started I call it 30 and drop. I would find the fish and drop down 30 feet and let the fish come up and hit it when I was catching striper. But it sounds like they're long lining. All right, so let me see. Paul Gavinsky says it's a total different animal. Yes, it is a total different thing. So, and I'm just wondering, like, from their point of view with walleye fishing, what would they say? Like, if someone says, what is the skill in walleye fishing? Like, what is it, the technique and things like that, that they say that would set them apart from another walleye fisherman? So, for instance, with bass fishing, if someone was to say, what is the skill in bass fishing? The first thing I would say for me, since I like using electronics and stuff like that, is locating fish. So that is a skill in itself, is to be able to locate the fish. Next skill is what type of lure, based on the depth of the fish. If you're fishing shallow, fishing laydowns, or if you're out fishing water 30 or 40, 50 feet deep water, being able to pick the right lure and use the right action to be able to work that bait in a way to make it move the way that you need it to trick that fish into thinking that it is a live bait, and therefore they will bite it. Because bass fishing, we use all artificial bait. And that's another thing with walleye. Do they use live bait or do they use artificial bait? But that's what I would say. Like, when someone says what is the skill in bass fishing, that those are the things that I would say up front. And just since a lot of us aren't familiar necessarily with walleye fishing, what I wonder what their answer would be for that. All right, and then Stephen says MLF allows you to cold dead fish. What? Somebody needs to. What? You can cold dead fish? Is it like, let's say if you have 5 dead fish in your live well, can you cold all 5 of those fish in MLF? That just doesn't, something about that just doesn't sound right. So, I mean, I haven't been keeping up with it as much as before, because once they kind of split off, I had a hard time keeping track of what comes on when and what tournament and all that kind of stuff. So I haven't been keeping up with it as much. But yeah, that sounds pretty tough right there, just to be able to cold dead fish. All right, and then we have Cowboy Jack says walleyes caught deeper than 30 feet will usually die. They burp up stomach and air bladder. Whoa, that's rough, guys. That is rough. Okay, so for anybody that's watching that does not know what that means, whenever you catch fish past a certain depth, because of the water pressure and everything, if you think of someone that's scuba diving, for example, they have to ascend back up at a certain speed to allow themselves to decompress. But with the fish, they don't get that luxury. They're pretty much reeling those fish up, and what it does is that decompression, it forces out, what did he say, the stomach and the air bladder, so they're pretty much done. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But I'm just wondering how stocked, or how many fish, what is the fish population in order to be able to sustain tournament fishing? And when they stock the fish, are they stocking baby fish, or are they stocking like adult tournament size fish in the lake? All right, and then we have Eric Diedrich checking in. Appreciate you checking into the live stream. All right. All right. Cowboy Jack says they didn't like hot water. During summer, they run deeper. Let me see. As water gets down in the 60s, they move shallower. Use jig, plastic / live bait, cranks, Ned rig, etc. Catch bass and walleye in the same place. Right. Yeah. So I've had a few people that I know that have caught walleye out here, but I've never caught one myself. And I'm out there. I fish a lot, and I've never caught one. But I definitely want to catch one, because they said that's something that if you catch one of those, you want to go ahead and introduce it to some grease. or a grill. So yeah, I want to catch one so I could check one of those out. All right, we have Paul Gavinsky back again, member of the money team. He says they locate the fish and then they have line counters to set the depth as to not cross the line. Yes, they do use artificial sometimes, but I believe mostly herring. All right, so that sounds like striper fishing. That is pretty much the exact way that I was striper fishing. We use lead core, I believe it was lead core line, and it has different colorations on the line so that you can keep track of how much line you put out. All right, so let's see who else we have. We have Al Smalls. The cheaters are scared to lose. You lose some and you win some, but you fish for another day. The cheaters are scared to lose. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's tough out here. It's tough out here, man. It's tough. All right, so let's see. We have Amir Ali. All right, we have somebody new checking in. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. He says, as long as they do not x-ray the fish, cheating is allowed. Man, now that would be tough right there. So let's just think. So we're going to have the weigh-in, and each fish, you run it through an x-ray machine. Man, that would get expensive quick. But if you're fishing for $3 million, $300,000, $50,000, then maybe they can afford that x-ray machine. I mean, it would bring some definite integrity and keep those people away that think they're gonna get away with stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, but then how do you stop somebody from trading fish and things like that? So yeah, it's just tough. You just have to kind of weed those guys out. And once you find somebody like that, you just have to get rid of them. To me, they're done. I mean, if you have thousands of people that are entering these tournaments and you catch 1, 2, 3, 10, 15 cheaters, they're not needed in the sport. There's no need for them to be in the sport to sustain it. They're not needed there because we don't want our sport to to have that type of scrutiny and to just just go that route, guys. All right, so we have pretty much hopped through all of the comments. Man, we've been going for quite a minute this time, guys. We've been going for a little over an hour and a half. So looks like everybody is done in the comments section. Let me just go back through here and just do a few more shout outs and then we will close it out. But want to give a shout out to Paul Gavinsky. He is a member of the money team, guys. The first member of the money team. Really appreciate you taking a second to hit that join button. And if anybody's thinking about it and wants to know more about the membership, the join button link should be right below the video. For you guys that are watching on Facebook, if you want to join it, I don't know if you can necessarily do it from Facebook or not, but just go to YouTube, or you can just go to www.moneybass.com. It will take you straight to the YouTube channel. Click that join button that you see right below this video, guys. It will give you the information about joining the money team. It comes with a few special perks. You'll see the video explaining all of that. So really appreciate Paul for taking that jump and being the first guy in there. So really appreciate that. So as we grow, Paul Gavinsky will always have a special place, guys. So as those sponsors start coming in and giveaways start happening, I wonder who I'm going to remember. All right. Really appreciate it, Paul. Really appreciate it. All right. Just want to give a few more shout outs real quick. Let me just look in here real quick, guys. And if anybody drops any more comments before we head out, I will drop a few comments in. I mean, I will read those comments. Actually, let me take a look. Looks like a few more comments came in. Let's see where we at. All right. We have Mark Scott. What is going on, Mark? Glad to have you stepping in. I know you had asked me about the Patreon and the membership and things like that before. So that's what I was just talking about. So the Patreon is still it's new. The membership is now active. So it has just become active. And we have a member of the money team, Paul Gavinsky. All right. And let's see. Oh, so Paul Gavinsky has another message here. All right. The Mr. Money Team, he says, I'm headed to Lake Harding in the morning. Try some ledge fishing to try my new video instruction by Money Bass. Okay. do you see that that little Instagram down at the bottom? Paul Gavinsky, member of the money team. Hit me on my Instagram. I have a few videos of Harding. So yeah, just hit me on Instagram. See what we can figure out on Lake Harding. All right, Valdezi says, good luck on that, Paul. All right, yeah, good luck out there on that lake. All right, and we have Josh says, Money, have to talk about the new Lake Master mapping on the next live stream. All right, Josh, I have your information in the on my Instagram. Send me another Instagram message because I'm still not really good with Instagram and all of this stuff. I'm still kind of figuring it out. But if you send me a new message, it will come up and then I'll get in contact with you. Because I mean, yeah, we need to get out there on the water, get this information about the mapping and everything also. And I can definitely incorporate that into the next live stream and into some of the electronics tutorials and things like that. So I was out there today getting some footage for you guys. So today is Tuesday. Tomorrow, let's do a how would you fish it, guys. And what I will do is show some of the footage that I pulled up from today and the fish that are on the screen. So you guys don't want to miss that. So that's what we'll do tomorrow. We'll do a how would you fish it. That will just be a video that I will drop tomorrow. So make sure you guys get active in the comment section. And Paul will be out on the lake. So yeah, that information would help Paul out also. So, but anyway, yeah, guys, make sure you okay, let me see. Paul says, I don't have Instagram. Man, Paul, I don't really know. I'm not too good with this stuff either. But if you can figure out how to set up an Instagram account, yeah, set up the Instagram account and hit me up. Uh-oh, guys, look what we have. Look what we have. We have Triton Jones back in the comments. All right, good luck this weekend. All right, appreciate that. Another super chat, guys. I really, really appreciate the support of the channel. Man, you just don't know how much I appreciate it because I'm out there putting in work for you guys, bringing this footage, trying to get these electronics videos out and just make it to where we all, whenever we have these live streams, guys, I want to hear about the wins that everybody, Paul Gavinsky, member of the money team. So as you guys come in and join the money team, you know, I start putting together some special things for us and my subscribers so that we can all get out there, have great times on the water and come back and just kind of brag a little bit. This will be a safe space for us. You know, this will be a safe space where we can come and do a little bit of bragging and things like that whenever we have successful days on the water. And, you know, when we have those not so successful days, we can kind of share a little bit of information to kind of help people out on their next trip. But Triton Jones, really, really appreciate it. All right, let's see. Paul Gavinsky says Facebook Messenger. So yes, I do have Facebook. It's Money Bass MB on Facebook. So if you send me a message, I know how to check the messages and reply to messages. I don't necessarily know how to send them. So if you contact me on Facebook Messenger, that will work. All right, and let's see who else we have. We have Cowboy Jack says, anyone using Humminbird PC? I've been using it to back up and manage waypoints. Yes, that is what I use, Humminbird PC. And I do have some waypoint management videos. So on YouTube, just search Money Bass waypoints or Money Bass Humminbird PC, and some videos should come up. And whenever you view a video, just drop a comment in there and just let me know what you think. If there's some more information or if you have questions, just put that in the comment section and I can always add more information to it. All right, so we have Paul Gavinsky. Had fun, guys. See you next week. All right, Paul. Paul, you got to let us know what happens tomorrow, man. But yeah, hit me up on the on my Facebook Messenger. All right, and let's see. Redboat says, Money, I think cheaters inherit this disease from their parents, learn deceitfulness, manipulation, and lack of remorse, and they don't care about anybody. Woo, man, now that right there, now that is a lot. Okay, let's just take a look at that. I think cheaters inherit this disease from their parents, learn deceitfulness, manipulation, and lack of remorse. Woo, okay, so I don't necessarily agree with that. I would say that they can in some circumstances, but Redboat, do you have kids? Because kids are their own separate people, their own separate person. So although they can learn certain characteristics, certain things, as far as you know, character traits and things like that. But you can have two kids that are raised in the exact same household and be the complete opposites. So that would kind of, in my opinion, go against that in a way. But I kind of see what you're saying, but I would say that it's not always true. That's kind of a tough one. That's kind of a tough one. All right, and let's see. Cowboy Jack giving the thumbs up. All right, guys, there we go. Oh, so I just wanted to give one last round of shout outs, guys. But yeah, we kind of got into the electronics things. I see people starting to check out, but want to give a shout out to Triton Jones. Hope I don't forget anybody. Valdeezy. All right, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Deshaun Peck. We have Deshaun Peck again. We have Treya. We have Stephen Walden. All right, appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, so those are the people that have stepped in, and also Paul Gavinsky. All right, appreciate everybody supporting the channel. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out if you did not hit it on the way in. Had a great time tonight, guys. All right, I will see you guys on the next live stream. Have a great evening, guys.